Alright, so we are at our much higher up glassing spot where we're hoping we will intercept sheep.
The last 2 days we've seen them back over this way, and we're about 150 yards from the ridge that they were just like grazing on yesterday.
We'll see what happens.
So just get into it?
Yeah, I mean, so you're doing a Dall Sheep hunt.
I am. So every fall, Alaska has a draw tag, and these are very special tags for certain areas and have certain qualifiers for them. The tag that I drew was specifically for Dall Sheep in the Chugach Mountains in the Game Unit 13D. This is a very coveted tag among Alaskan hunters and a pretty exciting and also intimidating one as a newer hunter. I feel so many emotions about this hunt and the time leading up to it. I'm anxious, I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm terrified. This is my first big hunt in Alaska. I've done some spot and stalks for black bear, but nothing to this level, and it's pretty intimidating. And I'm gonna have Tanya there to help me and guide me as well. She's a very experienced hunter, and I couldn't be more grateful that she is willing to come with me on this and help me. I'm beyond grateful that I got this opportunity to do this hunt. This is incredible. This is a once in a lifetime tag to pull, and it is not lost on me how big this opportunity is. I would be lying if I said I wouldn't be disappointed on some level if I don't get a sheep. However, I'm being very realistic in how I'm thinking about this, and at its basic level, this trip is going to be an amazing backcountry camping trip. I do think that we will get to see a lot of wildlife. We'll get to hike around, and that is going to be great. I think that there will also be other opportunities to hunt potentially bears if we don't actually get any sheep.
Okay, here's your semi-wild sticker. You can go now.
Where should I put it?
Oh, water bottle, maybe.
Okay.
Nice. So that's the pile.
That's the pile, so I'm going to take these inside, so I'm going to weigh them tomorrow. The jar of peanut butter didn't make the cut. A little too heavy. When we moved up here, it was just very clear that hunting and subsistence and fishing and all of those things are very much a part of the culture and the life of Alaskans. And so the more I was around people, the more I talked to them, the more I came to value how they thought about hunting and how much they respected the land and the animals that they were using and eating. And when I actually got to try some of the wild game meat that they were so graciously willing to share with me as a brand new Alaskan, I started to realize that from a health side, I wasn't getting sick from eating red meat or game meat in general, which I had started to lessen the amount of meat I was eating because store-bought meat was making me really sick. I wanted to get into hunting in order to be able to get my own meat and be more self-sufficient in that regard. so that I can eat that and actually have enough protein and not feel sick. I have an allergy, a gluten allergy, that makes it very difficult to get really good backpacking food. Some would argue there are some great companies out there that make delicious backpacking meals that are gluten-free, and I do agree with that. But I calculated out how much it would cost to get all the food for potentially 10 days with a couple of extra days just in case weather prevents us from getting home on time. And it was extremely expensive. So I actually took on the task of dehydrating and packing all my own food, which it was a huge time suck and took a lot of work. It was very tedious, but ultimately I know that the food I'm going to eat is going to be good and it's going to fuel me properly and I won't have any allergic reactions while we're out on the field. When I got the news that I got this tag in February, I realized I had about 6 months to get in sheep shape. So I sat down and created a 6-month exercise plan that included weight training, cardio, and some additional hiking and to get myself into shape. In addition to that, I have been going out to the range, practicing to shoot my rifle in sitting, in prone, standing, propping it up on bipod and pack, and just generally getting in some time with the rifle, feeling much more comfortable with it. So I'm not doing this big hunt alone. I've got my friend Tanya, who has been in some of our other videos, many of our other videos. She's kind of like a semi-wild contributor or ambassador. And she's been helping to coordinate all of this with me, and I am so grateful. So we're gonna get up early on a Friday morning.
Good morning, sunshine! Alright, 10 days worth of... Or if you're... I mean, stuff.
Stop.
10 days
This
worth of stuff.
is a PG channel.
We're gonna drive to the pilot's airstrip where he's gonna fly us out to the specific location that he has for us, and then we'll be on our own, just two of us. The game unit that we're going to is massive, and there are specifications as to where within that area we can hunt for the Dall sheep, but we actually decided not to hike in, but use a pilot who's familiar with the area and can drop us in.
There goes Tanya's plane. And there goes my plane.
From there, we're gonna set up a base camp. So when we set up our base camp, we're gonna be using the triangle method where we have our base camp and then 100 to 200 yards in one direction we'll have our cooking area, and 100 to 200 yards in the opposite direction we'll have our food storage. And that way it's enough distance away from our tent where we're gonna be sleeping that we shouldn't have any issues with bears. I do have, a healthy fear of bears, and here in Alaska there are plenty of them. So, this is the first time in my life that I will be properly in the backcountry without immediate access to amenities or being able to use my cell phone or be able to walk back to an area where I can use my cell phone. We are being dropped into the backcountry and will only be able to get out by plane. So both Tanya and I have inReach satellite phones, and we have the ability to send our coordinates and messages with that, or we can also use an SOS function if something happens and we get hurt.
I found Caitlin 2 sheeps. They're both boys.
I think one of them is close to full curl.
Yeah, the other one's like really close. It'd be like if you didn't have the any ram tag, you'd have to get a lot closer to see if it was a legal ram or not. And the other one's a halvesies. That's what I can see right now, walking across my screen.
They're currently in the no-go zone. We were told don't even try going up there to get them.
They're way up there.
In the sketchiest of rocky area.
We were told to wait for them to come down. Yeah. Actually, you can't even see them in this mountain that we have in the background of the picture. That's the mountain where the sheep are. The sheep are over there.
Yeah, so they're back in there. As you can see, it's pretty steep and rocky back there. So we're gonna wait. It's only day one. I can't even shoot them anyway. But we're gonna keep an eye on them. Good morning, everyone. It is, we're calling this day one because it's the first day that I can actually technically take a sheep. And we're sitting here just outside of our camp and glassing the hills. Hills? These mountains. Glassing the mountains. And Tanya has spotted 3 or 4 more sheep, one of which is a half curl. This is different from the group we previously spotted yesterday. And so the plan is to observe them. We'll hike up a little higher to see if we can glass and check in on the other 2 sheep that we saw yesterday. And then I'm just gonna see if we can track their patterns and then formulate a plan.
I'm so excited. I found so many sheep already. Okay, not that many, but we've never been sheep hunting before, in fact.
So, I mean, it feels
sheep.
super successful already.
We found sheep. That's half the battle. The harder half is getting to them because some of them looks nasty.
Yeah, does not look fun. It's going to take us a while to get up there.
The difficulties, as I understand them, have to do with the very rugged terrain, which poses a lot of challenges, and especially mixed in with weather and the remoteness that's required for these hunts.
across this hill here. There's little sheeps. They're way up there.
Alright, so we are at our much higher up glassing spot where we're hoping we will intercept sheep.
So we watched them this morning come from not quite here, but a little ways up the mountain and cross over. And the last 2 days we've seen them back over this way.
Alright, you guys, we're gearing up for day 3 that we can hunt. And we will
early because it was socked in this morning.
socked in and pouring rain. So we took some time waiting for some of this fog to clear off and the rain to clear up. It's still drizzling a little bit, but the sun is trying to clear some clouds out. So we're going to try and climb up to a better vantage point to see if our sheep friends that we didn't get to intercept yesterday are around. And we'll decide what we want to do from there. But as you can tell, it's still pretty windy, so we're going to get moving to make our bodies warm and keep you posted.
Another episode of sunny and raining, evidenced by the beautiful rainbow.
We've been getting a lot of rainy sunshine.
Yeah. Lots of rain during the sun. So we got lots of rainbows. I don't know, I think this is rainbow number 4.
Yep.
We're just in here taking a little shelter from the rain that never ever stops up here, even though it's sunny, as you can see out there.
So like us, we assume that the sheep are just hunkered down and awaiting this rain to stop.
We just don't really feel like climbing the really steep rocks when they're slick. Safety's more important than sheep, unfortunately.
We don't feel like getting hypothermia either, which is what the #1 cause of death of sheep hunters.
So Cait and I have decided that instead of hunting sheep, we are now hunting rainbows.
Really good at it.
Really good at it. We have found rainbows every day.
Sometimes twice.
Yeah. Really awesome.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys can hear the rain outside. Don't let the brightness of this tent fool you. It is raining again. But because we get sick of eating outside in the rain, we set up our other little tent so we could eat. Not where we're sleeping, but eat out of the rain for once. Supposedly it's not supposed to rain tomorrow, but I don't believe it.
So we're gonna try and go up the backside today of this mountain. We're hoping we'll get a sighting of our rams that we've been trying to keep track of.
So, our sheepy friend popped back out again. It's making our life harder. We can't go down any further because it's a canyon wall and we really struggle to get back up. And we can't go up because then the sheep would see us. So we are doing this miserable side hill creep. Hopefully we don't spook a brown bear because Caitlin doesn't really want a bonus brown bear if it means that it's trying to eat us.
And the sheep themselves, when they sense any sort of threat or intimidation, their natural tendency is to go higher up into the more rugged environments, making them nearly impossible to get to.
They're still just hiding behind this ridge line, staying out of sight. So hard to resist to look to see if they're still there, but we just gotta trust that they are. Because every time that we try to peek over, could be when we scare them. Our sheepy fens originally were on the other side of that ridge. Those sneaky little devils had crawled to the top, and they're feeding their way up, up, up. And they went over that, which, formidable at best. I think we're gonna let them have this round.
Just found some sheep hoof prints.
They're not very fresh.
No, but it does mean that they come down here
Sometimes.
when they don't smell humans.
Yeah, when we don't scare them away.
The weather could be anywhere from fall weather to winter weather. They're already getting some snow up there. And we're expecting some pretty low temperatures at nighttime. So I've been field testing my gear in our backyard. And I've been making sure I have a really good solid layering system and techniques for keeping myself warm in my sleeping bag.
Today is quite possibly a full day in the tent. It is really cold. It feels like it's about 29 degrees. It's raining and the wind is about 13 miles an hour right now. We've had to do a couple of reinforcements to the tents, but it's supposed to get worse over the course of the day, up to 21 miles an hour. So even if we wanted to go up for sheep, it's really not safe. But yeah, I guess this is the reality of hunting, especially out here. Oh. Weather can always mess your plans up.
So it looks bright in here, but that's only because the orange tent is bright. I don't know if you can hear the rain and the wind. But it's fun. Super mellow. Super mellow. We put out extra guy lines. We disassembled our food tent to use all of our spare guidelines to hold down our sleeping fort for the sustained 50-mile-an-hour winds coming tonight and the gust to whatever. It's gonna be fun. So this morning it got kind of windy, as you saw in our video. So I put some big rocks up to deflect the wind up over our tent.
All right, you guys, we spotted bears. There's a mama and two cubs. They're right in that meadow in the middle, the base of the mountain.
Kind of interrupts our plans for the day.
But at least we get to go watch some bears for a while, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, right.
But we're hoping we can get a little bit better look at them so that we can show you guys closer up. It is day 9, and Tanya and I have decided to call the pilot in because I'm done. While it was extremely hard and also really fun, I've given what I could to sheep hunting on this round. The sheep have pretty much disappeared either into the really high, really rugged stuff or into another canyon. So here's me throwing in the towel, ready to go home for a hot shower and my own bed. We're currently finishing up breakfast, packing up the rest of our stuff, and just waiting for the pilot to get here. Pilot just let us know he's on his way. Kicking down our rock wall a little bit. We'll disperse it.
So tell me how you feel about the trip.
It would have been great if I had gotten a sheep, but just being out there was totally worth it. I'm really grateful. Like I said before, it was a really neat opportunity. I wanted this video to come out to show people, especially new hunters, especially new women hunters, that these trips are possible. And I want to encourage these new hunters to go out and just try. Just go out there, have fun. I also want to represent a more realistic side of hunting, which is not getting the game, especially as new hunters feel discouraged when they go out and they don't get anything.
Well, we're glad you made it home safe.
Me too.
Yay!
What up,
Come on.
Dan?
Come back.
Hi. Welcome back.
Now we gotta unload the car.
Yep. Oh, deck of cards. Good.